Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we like to blend those casual conversations with some insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. And today, we're taking a deep dive into some recent cybersecurity breaches.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, that really kind of highlight how even those big names out there, can fumble in the digital world.
Yeah, it's like a constant reminder that security is kind of a moving target. No
Right.
matter how big you are or how tech savvy you think you are.
Absolutely.
Someone's always trying to one up you.
Right.
Out there.
Exactly. And you know what they say, like the bigger they are, the harder they fall, right?
That's true.
All right, so first up, we've got the Doge website breaches.
Okay.
Remember Doge?
I do.
The meme, the Sita Inu? Much wow.
Yeah, Doge, I wouldn't have pegged them as like a prime cybersecurity target.
Right.
I guess.
Well, neither did they, apparently.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so the website got hit not once, but twice.
Wow.
And the timing was impeccable.
Oh, really?
So these breaches happened right after Elon Musk made those comments about Dogecoin not being a security, around the time the government was looking into, regulating crypto and all that.
Oh, the irony.
Right.
That's hilarious. Talk about bad timing.
Right. So, but on a serious note, this is, a prime example of what can happen when security takes a back seat to, other things going on.
Yeah.
Two independent researchers found that the Doge website's database was practically wide open.
You're kidding.
I know.
What does that even mean, in practical terms?
So it means anyone with the know-how could have waltzed in and changed pretty much anything on the site. Think like defacing the homepage.
Oh, wow.
Messing with content, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, that's not just a vulnerability. That's like a gaping security hole.
Right.
Makes you wonder about the priorities during development,
Right.
Was it a rush job? Did they just totally underestimate the risks?
I mean, those are the million-dollar questions, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really highlights how even for projects that seem lighthearted or meme-driven, right? Like this is, very meme.
Yeah.
Basic security measures are, they're non-negotiable, right?
Absolutely. And especially in the world of cryptocurrency, where trust and security are paramount.
Right.
This kind of lapse is really concerning.
Absolutely.
It erodes confidence, and it just sends a signal that maybe things weren't as secure as they should have been.
For sure, yeah. And speaking of security giants with some pretty unexpected vulnerabilities, let's shift gears over to Palo Alto Networks.
Okay.
So the company that builds security software?
Oh, yeah. For a living.
Oh, the irony.
I know, right?
It never ends.
Nobody's immune, I guess.
I guess not.
Sadly, that seems to be the case.
Yeah.
Researchers found a zero-day vulnerability in their Palo software, and that's used by a ton of companies to protect their networks.
Oh, wow. So for those who might not be familiar, a zero-day vulnerability, that's like finding a secret passage in a fortress that nobody knew existed,
Right. Not even the builders.
Yeah.
It's a weakness that's exploited before anyone has a chance to, fix it.
And this one is tracked as CVE 2025-00108.
Okay.
And it's particularly nasty.
What makes it so bad?
Well, it allowed attackers to bypass authentication.
Oh, no.
Which is kind of like picking the lock on the front door and then running internal scripts, which is like having free reign inside the house, right?
Okay, so it's important to point out this vulnerability didn't directly allow for what we call remote code execution. Think of that as being able to, remotely control everything in the house.
Gotcha.
But it still gave attackers a significant foothold to potentially cause a lot of damage.
So not quite a complete takeover, but still a major security breach.
Exactly. And it just serves as I think, a stark reminder that even those companies that specialize in security,
right,
they can still fall victim to these sophisticated attacks.
Absolutely.
Nobody's perfect, and security, it's an ongoing process. It's not like a destination. You know what I mean?
Totally, yeah.
You never really arrive.
Right, it's like a journey.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about Apple, because even the tech giant known for its tight security
right.
isn't immune to attacks.
Oh, no.
You remember Apple's USB restricted mode, right?
Yeah, of course. It was designed to be like a digital fortress for your iPhone or iPad,
Right.
preventing any kind of data transfer through the USB port unless the device is unlocked. So,
Right.
A solid security measure in theory.
In theory, yes, but researchers found an exploit that could disable this mode.
Oh, really?
And potentially allow someone to access your data even if your device is locked.
Ooh, that's a little unsettling.
Right.
But how would someone even, go about exploiting this? It's not like you just, stumble upon it.
Right. So this particular exploit required a physical attack.
Okay.
So we're talking like someone needs physical access to your device.
Gotcha.
And some, specialized tools. So
Okay.
not your everyday run-of-the-mill hacker.
Right.
Right.
Right, so this is more like, targeted espionage than just casual snooping.
Exactly.
Okay.
Still, it's a good reminder that even physical security is a factor when we talk about cybersecurity.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Absolutely. And it shows that attackers are always looking for ways to exploit even the most secure systems,
Yeah.
especially when the target is high profile or holds some sensitive information.
It's a cat and mouse game out there.
Right.
And as defenses get stronger, the attackers, they just get more and more creative,
Right.
more persistent. They
Exactly.
never live up.
The good news is Apple has patched the
Oh,
vulnerability,
yeah, good.
but it does raise some questions about how secure even the most secure systems really are,
Right.
especially as technology just continues to evolve.
It's a constant race against the bad guys,
Right. So,
And the key takeaway here is that security, it's never a one and done deal.
for sure.
It's an ongoing process
Right.
of staying informed, updating your defenses, and being aware of just how much that threat landscape is evolving out there.
I like that, being aware of that threat landscape.
Yeah, it's always changing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, almost a living thing
Yeah, it is.
that's always morphing and changing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, very cool.
It's wild out there.
Wild West, digital Wild West.
It really is.
So it's true. The moment you think you've got it all figured out, some new vulnerability pops up and throws a wrench in the works.
That's the truth, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of new vulnerabilities, our last cybersecurity story for today, this one involves a particularly sneaky tactic called a supply chain attack.
Okay, supply chain attacks, those are the ones that really make you question who you can trust, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So imagine this developers, they use tons of pre-written code packages to build software, save time and effort.
Right. It's like using prefab components to build a house instead of starting from scratch.
Exactly. But what if one of those prefab components or code packages is actually malicious?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's what happened with the Go package
Okay.
that was disguised as a legitimate one.
So developers were unknowingly downloading and using like malicious code. How is that even possible?
Well, the attackers used a clever trick called typo squatting, so they named a malicious package almost the same as the real one,
Oh, sneaky.
right? Just with a slight misspelling.
So a developer could easily mistype the name, download the malicious package without realizing it, and boom, their software's compromised.
Bigo. And to make matters worse, this attack exploited a security feature in Go's package system.
Oh no, so the very mechanism that was designed to protect them ended up being their downfall.
You got it. So Go's package system uses pashing to speed things up, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But even after the malicious package was discovered and removed, cached versions were still being served up to unsuspecting developers.
Ugh, that's a nightmare scenario for any security team.
Yeah, it really highlights the importance of verifying every single package, no matter how trustworthy the source may seem.
Yeah, don't just blindly trust anything you download.
Right? And it just underscores how sophisticated these attacks are becoming. They're not just going after individuals anymore.
Right.
They're targeting the entire software supply chain.
Which ultimately affects all of us, right? I mean, these attacks can trickle down to everything from the apps we use on our phones
Right.
to the infrastructure that powers our businesses.
It's a sobering thought, isn't it, that something as seemingly harmless as a typo could have such widespread consequences.
It really is, and it reminds us that cybersecurity, it's not just about firewalls and antivirus software.
Right.
It's about being aware of the human element, the potential for mistakes, and the constant need for vigilance.
At every level.
Yeah, at every level.
So after hearing all these stories, what are your thoughts? I mean, it seems like no one is safe, from Doge enthusiasts to tech giants like Palo Alto Networks and Apple. Is there anything we could do to protect ourselves?
Well, I think the first step is awareness. The more we understand the threats and how they work, the better equipped we are to defend against them.
Right.
Knowledge is power, as they say.
Yeah, so it sounds like staying informed is like our first line of defense.
Absolutely. And it's not just about, keeping up with the latest headlines. It's about understanding the tactics, right? The tactics attackers use and how to recognize those red flags. You know what I mean? So like for developers, that means double checking those package names and the sources, Don't just assume a package is safe because it looks familiar, like take the time to verify its authenticity.
Right, it's like that old saying, trust but verify, right?
Exactly. And for everyone else, the basics still apply. Use strong passwords, enable two-factor authentication whenever possible, and think before you click on links or open attachments from, unknown senders.
Like, don't open that scheduled email from a Nigerian prince, right?
Exactly. And those security updates too.
Ugh, I hate those.
I know, those pesky little notifications. They can be annoying, but
Right.
they often contain crucial patches for newly discovered vulnerabilities,
So it's worth it to click on them.
It really is.
Okay.
Think of it like keeping your digital immune system up to date.
I like that, your digital immune system.
Yeah. Got to boost those digital antibodies.
Got to keep it healthy, right?
Exactly.
So what is the big takeaway here? Is it just a matter of being like constantly vigilant and just hope for the best?
Well, it's more than just hope. It's about taking proactive steps to protect ourselves and recognizing that cybersecurity, it's really everyone's responsibility.
Right.
It's not just about individual action.
Like a community effort.
Yeah, it's about holding companies and organizations accountable for their security practices too, you know?
Right, for sure.
Putting pressure on them to step up their game.
So in a world where like technology is constantly evolving, right? How do we balance embracing innovation with staying safe online?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's definitely a delicate balance,
Yeah.
but it's one that's like super crucial to navigate, you know?
Right.
We need to be open to these new technologies and the possibilities they offer, but also approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism, I think.
Okay.
And a real commitment to security best practices, you know? It's about finding that sweet spot where we can reel all these benefits of innovation without compromising our safety and our privacy,
Right.
you know? You can have both.
I like that. You can have both.
Yeah,
You don't have to sacrifice one for the other.
exactly.
Well said. Well, that's a wrap for our whirlwind tour of recent cybersecurity chaos.
It's been real.
Yeah, it's a reminder that the digital world is full of wonders, but also its share of risks.
Absolutely. But by staying informed, being proactive, and, you know, working together,
Right.
we can make the digital landscape a much safer place for everyone.
I love it. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into cybersecurity chaos.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been fun. And remember, folks, stay vigilant out there.
Stay safe.
Thanks for tuning into Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.